Do you see what's common with these three pictures? The fact they've all got pillars in them. Now, what do pillars do? Pillars, as you can see from the picture, hold up things. They make sure that ceilings and rooftops are held up. So you can imagine how strong they've got to be. They've got to be incredibly strong. Now, not all pillars are going to be equally strong. Some pillars are going to be stronger than others. And there's two things that help determine how strong a pillar is. Number one, most important thing is the material that you use. Okay, the material's got to be a very strong material. If you look at the lesson on properties of materials, you don't want pillars to bend or compress or twist, torsion. You don't want them to shear, and of course you want them to be waterproof. Otherwise, if it rains outside, those pillars are going to turn soggy and they're going to get squishy and crumble. So of course you want the material to be waterproof. And all of those properties put together tell us that the material is going to be very strong. If it doesn't compress, it doesn't twist, and doesn't do any of those things, it's going to be a very strong, hard material. If you use paper, for instance, to build this thing, your pillars aren't going to be holding up much of a rooftop at all. They're going to not be able to withstand the forces. So you want to make sure you're using a strong material. That's number one. Number two is the shape of the pillar. The pillar has to be a certain shape in order to be at its peak strength. Now let's look at the main shapes that are used for pillars, because the shape does make a difference. So once you've taken your strong material, now you got to look at the second most important thing, which is the shape that you put that material in. You can have a box-like pillar like this. You can see how it's a box shape. You can have round pillars, and you can have a triangular type pillar. Before I tell you which one of these is the strongest, I'm going to tell you something here, and I want you to pay attention. If you take a wire and you bend it over and over again, you bend it, eventually what happens to the wire is it snaps and breaks. Now, the same thing applies to pillars. If you take a material and you bend it, the more you bend it, the weaker the material gets. Which one of these has the most bends? This one does. Because it has the most bends, it's going to be the weakest material out of all these three pillar designs. So that doesn't mean it's going to be a weak pillar, because this pillar here is made of a strong material. It's going to be able to support some heavy stuff, but it's not going to be as strong as the other two. They can lift much more stuff. So let's take a look at these two now. Which one's going to be stronger? Because this middle one doesn't have any bends, it is just round, it's just curved, it has zero bends, it's going to be the strongest. And this one's going to be second place.